We practice training, which is one of my favorite things because I get treats.
So if you go out into the backyard and you do a poo, or do you wipe it on the grass?
Technically, I've only wiped my ass with grass one time, and I mean, technically it was a leaf, and I was in the middle of the mountains. It was getting late. I was getting nervous because I'm afraid of heights, and I don't want to talk about it. Welcome back to your favorite non-leftist lesbians channel. If you are not subscribed here, make sure you do that now because this is a hot mess express. Today we are exploring the non-human humans of TikTok, or as they call themselves, Therians. And don't be fooled into someone telling you that these people are just a very small subset of TikTok on the internet. No, they get millions and millions of views. I had to look this up because apparently Therians are not the same things as furries. And no, this is also not the same thing as gay men calling themselves and putting themselves in categories like being a bear or an otter, depending on how much hair they have on their assholes. And no, it is not a situation where you are what you eat, lesbians. In general, furries are individuals who say they are furries, okay? Therians are individuals who believe they are not completely human and instead identify as a species of non-human animal. And wouldn't you know it, because this definition still didn't make a ton of sense to me, I found a YouTube channel that is completely dedicated to Therian concepts. I want to say Therian people, but they're claiming they're not people, so. One thing that I think is important to mention off the bat about this channel is the fact that there are multiple videos speaking out about their depression, their trauma.
People were debating within some kind of podcast whether therianthropy or furries or ultra-humans in general would be good or bad for your mental health, and they kind of concluded that it's really bad for your mental health, and here's why. And I honestly didn't even watch the video. Like, I was just mainly inspired by the title because for me it's actually kind of the opposite. Therianthropy and ultra-humanity has actually been nothing but beneficial to my mental health.
And just because I want to make myself clear, there is no hate to this specific person or anyone else mentioned in this video. I never want you guys to go and give people shit, even though they give me shit for talking about them giving them shit. Personally, I don't think that any of this is good for anybody's mental health, but I don't think it's harming anybody on the outside. I mean, unless these go around peeing on people to mark their territory or biting people and giving them rabies and shit. Honestly, I'm way more curious as to what these people do. And before we get into the video any further, I just want to take a quick second. This is going to be a quick little sponsor. And I want to thank Chan's Furniture, based out of Miami, for gifting me these two gorgeous vanities. This is the brand new vanity that you guys would be using if you ever come to visit me. This is in my guest bathroom. And the second one I am still in the process of putting in. If you want to go and follow that little journey of mine, I'm in my DIY era. You can go and follow my Instagram. The link is in the description below. Thank you so much to companies that support this channel and support our messages. First up, we have a dog Therian. This is a terrible joke that I wrote, but I think it's a funny joke. I'm just gonna say it. Is it possible that this person was just called good girl one too many times? Or maybe never told that they were a good girl? Would calling this person a bitch be affirming their, I can't say gender identity, their species identity? Honestly, this one kind of impressed me because I know for sure at this point in my life, if I were to even try, even remotely, something similar to this, I would be eating carpet, not in a good way. Also, for some reason, there are quite a bit of these jumping videos. As weird as this may sound, hear me out, I actually think it's a good thing that these people have masks on, because if this were me and I was 16, 17, 18 years old, first of all, they're kids, I don't want to post them publicly if they are kids. I don't want them getting any hate. But second of all, if I posted half of the shit I did when I was 15 on the internet today, I'd be very upset with myself. But at the same time, I am also not a fan of normalizing this behavior because we have people out here eating dog food, choosing to eat dog food. I guess it is a bit better than Tide Pods because we're there at this point in the world. And I don't even mean mentally better. I mean physically. I'll admit, when I was 7, I did try a cat crunchie, like, you know, like the hard treats one time just because I was very curious. Instant regret. I do remember it being salty. For those of you who know me, this is a true story. You know, one thing that all of these videos have in common that I've noticed is nobody is around. They are in the middle of West Bumblefuck, shout out to my New Yorkers out there, and are probably so bored and so privileged in their little suburbia town in the middle of America that they are choosing to take on these little adventures. Why don't we see any of these videos with people in New York City and Chicago pretending or identifying as rats, pretending to be rats, and like scurrying along the New York City subway system? Is it because, maybe, is it because it would no longer be fun? Because y'all would be a dirty hoe, and you no longer get to be a little cute fox just prancing around the middle of fucking Montana or wherever these people are? Then I came across this one TikTok account, and I'm sure there are multiple of them, that identifies as multiple Therians. I guess it's kind of similar to identifying as multiple genders, but better? Worse? You decide. And apparently this next video, this person is identifying as a hamster. Everyone was clapping and cheering for me. Oh my God. Like, no, I guarantee there is nobody in, I would say, maybe a good 20 miles radius of where this person is at right now in their life. So I have been seeing that shifting is a theme here, whether that is shifting multiple personalities, shifting and changing genders, shifting or changing into different animal species that you think you are. Like, I still don't see how that's mentally healthy. To be honest, my next thought was, if these people really do feel like they are living their lives in certain ways as animals, what happens when they actually interact with one? I think we now, after like 11 years, finally have an answer to what the fox says. Bitch, what the fuck? So now the other question I had was, do these people think that they have some type of dysphoria? It wouldn't be gender dysphoria, it'd be like species dysphoria. Do they believe that they have that? And yeah, some of them do. Let me know in the comments down below if you think that these people are A, just mentally ill, B, are bored and love being oppressed, or C, going through this because of a personal trauma. This one is just clearly bored. Please stop. Is this at all similar to when I was 10, 11 years old pretending to be like Misty and my friend was pretending to be Ash Ketchum and we pretended that there were real life Pokemon in the world? No, this is not the same. I'm sorry. It's just not. Like, I'm trying to be devil's advocate here, but it's not gonna work. Here's somebody that thinks they do have species dysphoria.
And let's be very clear about the non-physical part there, because it's very important to note that Therians do not physically identify as an animalistic being. We do not believe that we are able to physically change into an animal, or we do not identify physically as an animal in any way whatsoever. We know we are human.
You know, I never thought in a million years that I'd say this, but this person in a way kind of is making more sense than the people claiming to be 1,000 different genders depending on the pull of gravity by the moon. At least they know that they are humans and they cannot change that fact.
However, what's going on the inside may be a little different. We might feel as if we are half human, half animal, entirely animal, a little bit animal. That kind of depends on the Therian, of course. Now let's focus on the animalistic being part. Most often this is just an earthen animal, but sometimes this can also be considered a mythical creature that has some animalistic sides, such as dragons or griffins, for example.
Never mind.
There's occurrences where people may experience species dysphoria, meaning that they feel a sadness or sorrowness over the fact that they do not live in their animal body and do not live in their animal life. And there's also, for example, the occurrence of a shift where you may experience a highlighted moment where you suddenly feel a little more animal than human in whichever way possible, except for on a physical level, of course.
Listen, I've said this before. I am a fairly spiritual person. Look, I have like a rotating moon in the background. I have my little, whatever that's called, on the wall. Like, I have my Buddhist stuff. I believe in the law of attraction. I believe in mental, physical, emotional, spiritual healing, connection to the universe, right? But girl, this is not the way to fix it. And honestly, I say this a lot in my videos, but I think a really good way of starting this process for these people is finding purpose. Whether that is purpose in a job, purpose in a relationship, purpose as a parent, purpose for your country and your morals. But sitting at home alone in the middle of nowhere and practicing jumping in your room over obstacles like those cat videos that they show is not the way. Somebody commented this video and saying, I'm currently debating if I'm a Therian or not. I've had a shift before. Just don't know if it's related to I can't even say that. Therianthropy. I have always liked to play with cat toys rather than my own. I automatically make cat noises sometimes. Like when a rock landed on my foot and I hissed. What? Hiss, bitch. Okay, no. It's an automatic thing that I've had since I was little. I've always had a deep connection to felines, and I've had a phantom shift where I felt ears and a tail. You know the saying, if you can't beat them, join them? Maybe this is, if you can't get pussy, become one. I don't know if this person's a male or female, or if they're gay or straight, but like, I feel like if you can't get laid, or if you can't find a girlfriend or boyfriend, this is the kind of shit you do. Okay, ancient Egyptian art is my favorite type of art. It's my favorite culture of all time. I just love it. Remember back when the ancient Egyptians used to worship cats and not pretend to be them? Keep that in mind while we go back to the first video we reacted to.
We practice training, which is one of my favorite things because I get treats.
So if you go out into the backyard and you do a poo, or do you wipe it on the grass?
Is this a new form of worship?
You know, I don't find myself focusing on what other people, I guess, are their reaction toward me because I'm so in the moment of just being the dog.
That is my new consensus for this video. Is this a form of worship? Yes, I think some of it's mental health issues, some of it is trauma, some of it is boredom, some of it might be narcissism and loving the idea of being worshipped. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. As always, make sure you go and subscribe and like this video. And huge thank you to Chan's Furniture for sponsoring my 2 brand new vanities. And just so you know, I've been documenting the entire journey over on my Instagram of redesigning my entire Miami condo. Maybe I am in my DIY hoe age era, whatever the kids are calling it these days. Other than that, I will see you guys back here in a few days with a brand new video. Until then, I love you. Keep calling out bullshit. Bye.